Good evening. I'm Deputy Chief Terrence Rhodes, Commander of the Dallas Police Department's Criminal Investigations. I'm here to provide a detailed account of the officer-involved shooting that occurred Tuesday, June 2nd, 2021 at 4535 Humphrey Drive in Dallas, Texas. The Dallas police officer who fired his duty rifle is Gabriel Green, badge 11324, and he is a 4-year veteran with the department. Officer Green was wearing his body-worn camera, and it will be shown shortly. The name of the sheriff's deputy who fired his weapon will not be released since he works in an undercover capacity. On June 2nd, 2021 at approximately 10:40 a.m., North Texas Fugitive Task Force officers attempted to execute an arrest and search warrant at 4535 Humphrey Road for 28-year-old Julio Guerrero. Guerrero was wanted for a murder that occurred May 2nd when he shot and killed 35-year-old Francisco Villanueva at the Tiger Cabaret on Delito Road. Guerrero was also wanted for shooting and striking a 3-year-old child on May 10th as she sat in her father's vehicle. To add to this, Guerrero had 3 additional aggravated assault warrants out for his arrest, making him a very dangerous suspect. When the task force arrived at the residence on Humphrey Drive, they created a perimeter around the property and pulled their vehicles onto the driveway of the home. Suspect Guerrero walked by the officers wearing a backpack. He did not appear to be armed at this time. As the officers were exiting their vehicle in an attempt to make contact with Guerrero, he subtly attempted to evade officers by running southbound and jumping a fence leading into a grassy area. Officers lost sight of Guerrero but began searching the area with the K-9 unit. During the search, the K-9 officer observed Guerrero crouched down in the tall grass, pointing an AK-style rifle at the K-9 officer. The K-9 officer announced that Guerrero was armed and the officers took positions of cover. Suspect Guerrero ran back toward the residence, jumped the fence, and began running through the parked mobile homes where he was confronted by a Dallas sheriff's deputy. According to the deputy's testimony, Guerrero pointed his rifle at him and fired a shot, at which time the deputy fired his weapon at Guerrero. Suspect Guerrero continued moving through the property and then laid on the ground. Dallas police officers arrived and cordoned out the front of the residence. As they approached the driveway, Officer Guab, badge 11281, observed Suspect Guerrero in a prone position near the rear of the house. Suspect Guerrero stood up, took a shooting stance, and pointed his rifle at Officer Guab. Officer Gabriel Green, badge 11324, fired his duty rifle at Suspect Guerrero. Guerrero then ran inside the home where he remained barricaded for the next several hours. SWAT negotiators would spend the next several hours trying to convince Guerrero to surrender, but he refused. SWAT also used tear gas as well as other tactical measures to get Guerrero to surrender, but to no avail. Shortly before 7 p.m., negotiators began talking with Guerrero. He finally surrendered peacefully at approximately 7:05 p.m. When this incident first occurred, the situation was dynamic and fluid with many moving components occurring at the same time. It was reported by the initial law enforcement officers on scene that Guerrero fired upon them and they returned fire. Witnesses who lived close by confirmed seeing Guerrero pointing a weapon at officers. This investigation continues as detectives of the Special Investigations Unit piece together the entire incident that took place. They did recover ammunition in Guerrero's pockets at the time of the arrest. Detectives continued thoroughly processing the scene inside and outside of the residence. The body-worn camera video you're about to see comes from the K-9 unit who first spot Guerrero hiding in the brush. The second body-worn camera comes from Officer Green, who encounters Guerrero as he is in a crouching position. Neither suspect Guerrero or officers were injured from gunfire during this incident.
I don't think you made it past here.
Here, Bandit. Hop, hop. Try to get to work. Hey, does he speak English?
Don't know, bro. Don't know. Where's the last place you saw him with the dog? Where's the last place you saw him? Get the dog in here. Further up that way. That's where
Dallas Police K9! Announce yourself, you wanna get bit! Policía de Dallas! Zook. 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 Dallas Police K9, you will get bit! Policía de Dallas, te voy a morder el perro! Ah! Gun! He's got something in his hand. He's right there in the bushes. He's got something in his hand. Oh, she's got AR! Shots fired.
Rack up and tell you.
Shots fired, P11. Shots fired.
Shot fired. Got it.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get back. He's right here in the fucking driveway.
Shots fired.
Jump! Hey, watch out! There's people right there. Watch out!
He's in the house. He's in the front house.